Video. What is a function? Good question. Let's take a look. When mathematicians and scientists look at the world around them, they notice that relationships exist between items they see. They try to model these relationships with equations. There are two terms that can be used to describe these different types of relationships. They can be relations or functions. A function is a special type of relation in which each value of the independent variable, the first coordinate, corresponds to exactly one value of the dependent variable, the second coordinate. We can say then that the function is a relationship between these two variables. The input variable, which is the data that is given or known, and the output variable, the value that is obtained after doing something with the input data. We use two words in mathematics, the domain and the range. The domain is the set of numbers that can be used as the x value in the function. The range is the set of numbers that can be used as the y value in the function. So here is an example. What is the domain and range of this function? Y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. To do that, we're going to investigate this function. Y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. The first thing we will do is we will create a table of values. In a table of values, you list your x values in the first column, and then you substitute or you put in that x value into the equation and solve to get the y value. So when I did that for each value of x and got the corresponding y values. Now, when I take a closer look, I see when x is -2, y is 0, and when x is -1, y is 0. So I see that this table of values has two x-intercepts. However, since we don't clearly see where the vertex will be using completing the square technique to find the vertex, we're going to try something else. So here we're going to complete the square to determine the vertex. To do that, we take the equation y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. We divide this expression into two parts, the first two terms and the last term. We take the value of the middle term, 3, divide by 2, and we get 1.5. We then square this number. 1.5 squared is 2.25. Since we cannot change the value of the expression, we add this value into the expression by adding and subtracting the number. So you can see now I have taken the plus 2.5 and negative 2.25, and I've inserted them into the space. Once I've done that, I take the first 3 terms and put them inside brackets. So x squared plus 3x plus 2.25. Then the remaining 2 numbers I put together outside the bracket. So I factor the first group, completing the square, and add the last 2 numbers. So x plus 1.5 squared minus 2.5, and I get as my answer negative 1.5, because when I bring it out I have to set it to x equals 1.5, which x becomes a negative 1.5, and negative 2.5, and that would be our vertex. Then we can draw the graph. Plot the values from the table of values and the vertex, and we get a parabola. We can identify the y-intercept at 0, 2. We can identify the x-intercept at negative 1, 0. And we can identify the other x-intercept at negative 2, 0. And we can identify the vertex. Then we can see that it opens upward because the value of x is positive, and it went from quadrant 2 to quadrant 1. So let's review. Identify the key characteristics of the graph. Y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. The opening, since the sign in front of x squared is positive, the graph opens upward and moves from quadrant 2 to quadrant 1. The vertex is negative 1.5 and negative 0.25. The domain is the set of real numbers such that x is an element of the real numbers written in function notation, shown in our equation. The set of x such that x is an element of the real numbers. The range is the set of real numbers such that y is an element of the real numbers and are equal to or greater than 0, the y value of the vertex. So the set of y such that y is an element of the real numbers and y is greater than or equal to 0. What does it mean when you're asked then to find the solutions to a quadratic function? What this question is asking for is for you to find the x-intercepts of the quadratic function, or in MHF, any kind of function. Another word for x-intercept is the zeros or the roots. These are alternate terms for the x-intercept. Remember, the x-intercepts are the x values, the ordered pairs, when y equals 0. This means that when we want to fix the x-intercepts, set the equation equal to 0 and factor the equation. The solution to the equation y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2 would be x equal negative 2 and x equal negative 1. To learn more about factoring, view the PDF called Factoring, or the video called Factoring.